In this video we are taking a look at these, the Atreyu Base Model version 2. Hey, what is up everybody, and welcome back to FORDY Runs. Now, have you tried Atreyu running shoes? This is Base Model 2, this is Base Model 1, and we've had the Artist, which is the carbon plated shoe, on the channel as well. Now, these aren't that readily available here in the UK. They're mainly sort of distributed in the US. But that said, I know a few people who've got them here in the UK. But wherever you are in the world, let me know in the comments how you've been getting on with them, how you found them. I'd be very interested to know in your feedback. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the new version. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so a little bit of background. Atreyu running shoes are a Texas-based running shoe company, small company, and they stripped everything back and went back to basics and created a shoe a couple of years ago, which was basically a very simple design and ethos about keeping it simple. It's got a slab, this one, version 1 had a slab of EVA foam, very lightweight, breathable upper on it, and that was about it. It weighed, and actually let's weigh this, like next to nothing, and the price, more importantly, was hang on, that's 189 grams, by the way, 6.65 ounces for UK 9.5, and the price was like 80 something dollars. I think it's maybe it's even the same as the new one, which is $85, and they did a subscription model and that kind of thing. So it was very simple, back to basics, no bells and whistles. It was purely a running shoe designed for those easy miles, and sort of off you go. It was one of my favourite shoes, if not one of the favourite shoes of 2020. It was a great daily trainer. It just ate miles, ran easy, and you could do pretty much everything in it. I liked it mainly because it was just so simple, and I love simple shoes. So in 2021, they upgraded it and came out with the Base Model version 2. So the Base Model version 2, they changed around the EVA foam. They made a supercritical process where they chucked some CO2 into it, and that changed the feeling of the midsole, and I'll come on to that in a minute. And they also added some overlays to the upper. So the major changes were the sort of midsole compound and the upper look, I would say, in terms of the overlays. See it? It's also gained a little bit of weight. I mean, it's nothing for 6.9 ounces. So that is 195 grams. Both shoes, by the way, are UK 9.5 and fit true to size. But yeah, you can see, I think, some of the detailing in terms of where the changes have been made, hopefully, on the shoes. Actually, interesting, on the outsole, the wear was pretty good. It's chewed up here, worn out here. But overall, it's not too bad considering it's exposed EVA. And the new one is exactly the same principle. So far, so good. A little bit of wear and tear around here and around here. But again, it's exposed EVA. So what do you expect? The ethos still remains about the simplicity of the shoe. You know, that sort of barely there upper strapped to the EVA midsole. Well, I know it's a supercritical EVA midsole. But yeah, the whole sort of ethos remains the same, and it's still $85. Which, if you get it to the UK, the prices have come down a little bit in terms of shipping, but you're still talking about 115 quid to get this to the UK, which is not the end of the world, and it comes pretty quickly. I was impressed how quickly I got these shoes over here in the UK. So we've got a TPU sock liner on this shoe as well, which does, I think, improve the fit and the feel of it in terms of comfort. There's nothing wrong with this, but I don't know, it just feels a little bit more comfortable. In terms of the upper and things like that, it just, yeah, I don't know, I think it adds to the feel of the shoe. So well done, Atreyu. But the biggest feel change is from the midsole. It feels more like fuel cell, you know, from New Balance. That's the sort of feel. It's but not as soft. It's as bouncy. It's bouncier, sorry, than this. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. This is definitely a bouncier feeling shoe than the original. Where they've changed up and made the midsole with this supercritical process, chucking CO2 into it, I think it's just created more of a bouncy ride. It definitely feels a little bit sort of firmer to touch, but definitely more bouncy, springier especially for somebody like me who does tend to heel strike a little bit when I'm just being lazy. It's not like a Hyperburst from Skechers. It's that sort of between the two, actually, between Hyperburst and Fuel Cell. But it's definitely an improvement in terms of versus version 1 from the feedback from the midsole. So the biggest takeaway is definitely the sort of bouncy feeling from the midsole and the more comfort added to the upper. Apart from that, it pretty much stays in line with version 1, which is good news. The thing is with this shoe, it is a little bit limited for me, I would say now, in terms of where I find myself running in it. It's that sort of 3 to 6 miles area. It's one of the shoes that I would stick on if I'm, you know, classic example. Monday I do a ladies only running club. And if I'm taking them out and we're doing like 3 miles and we're doing whatever, this is the shoe I'd stick on. It's comfortable, it's easy, I don't have to think about it. But if it was like a tempo session on a different night, I probably wouldn't wear it. So it's almost the shoe to collect junk miles in, which is not, again, it's not a bad thing. It's not a disappointment. It's just a very simple, very easygoing shoe that you can wear for those easy miles and those junk miles, those miles that don't necessarily matter. And I think that's a good thing. I like basic shoes. I prefer basic shoes that do a job very well and you know exactly what you're going to get from it. And I think the base model 2 stays in line with what the base model 1 was. So well done, Atreyu. You haven't managed to muck it up because there's always that worry when you come and do a second model, especially when you're a new company, that you may go in the wrong direction, but you haven't. You've done a great job. I think it's very interesting, especially in terms of price point, especially if you're in the US. $85 for a running shoe is amazing. I do wish that we could get that price over here in the UK, but I appreciate that we've got to ship it out and that kind of thing. So yeah, the base model 2, don't be disappointed. I think they've improved it slightly. And yeah, if you like the first model, you're definitely going to like this one.